103.8.
Yes, welcome back to The Agenda. This is Katie Chambers. I am with you all this week. Georgia is off on her summer holidays. So lovely to have your company. Thank you so much for all your comments so far on teenage working over the summer, a juvenile work permit. Sally's got in touch to say, I had no idea such a thing existed. I'm going to be pursuing it as from today. I've got a son at home already gaming, and he really needs to be doing something better with his summer. And I echo that thought exactly. Not just for sort of taking up time, but also enriching, I guess, over the next 8 weeks. So we've just heard from Luke Tapp, employment lawyer at Pin St Masons. It is legal for teenagers of 15 plus to work under the right conditions here in the UAE. And I guess the big question now is, are businesses actually taking advantage of this opportunity? And I do see it as an advantage. Children, or teenagers, I should call them, they can add a lot to the workplace. We're going to be speaking now to one recruitment firm that says young people in the region are often waiting far too long before getting their first taste of the workplace. Joining me in the studio is Emily Doherty. She's Associate Director at Genie Recruitment. Hi, Emily. Thanks so much for joining me on The Agenda today.
Thank you for having me.
And you've also brought Benny Wang along. You are 21, Benny, aren't you? So you're not a teenager anymore, but you started as an intern at Genie Recruitment, and now you impressed them so much that you've got a full-time role. But you also found it really hard to get experience as a teenager in the workplace. Tell me what that was like, Benny.
So, right now, because every year or every semester, there's a whole batch of fresh graduates coming in every semester, and that makes the market a lot more competitive because we have a lot of fresh graduates coming around. So this makes the market very competitive. The ratio from job vacancies to students is extremely high. So as soon as I graduated, all I could do was apply to jobs everywhere, and I had to get used to the rejection of job vacancies.
And did you want to work as a teenager here over the summer? Were you sort of one of those youngsters chomping at the bit, as we say in the UK?
Of course, yeah, because I did have a lot of ambition of making it. So I wanted to get job experience as soon as possible.
And Emily, what do you offer at Genie? I know you offer lots of different opportunities. You're just starting something with Middlesex University. You also do internships and summer roles. Yeah, broad scale.
To be honest, if we have someone who is out there or even just a little bit confident, we'll find something for them, whether that's a little week work experience, whether it's two months internship like we did for Benny. Or we even have, you can come in on a Friday once, during the summer period and kind of just experience that office environment. So we're really flexible. And I think it's really good to have that exposure for young people. I didn't work in an office until I was 18, right? And I think being younger, it's better, isn't it?
Yeah, I remember 16 doing work experience at a solicitor's, conveyancing solicitor.
Wow, okay.
Very boring, very boring. And I had to type up letters that the solicitors had dictated. Oh. And that was enough for me to know that was not my role at all. Didn't want to do that. But valuable. I was in an office. I did make a lot of tea. You say you don't do that with your interns or your summer jobs.
Don't. They don't have to empty bins either.
No, well, that's good. Because that's not valuable work experience,
It's not.
is it?
It's not. No. And for example, when I was 16, I wanted to be a hairdresser, and I was adamant that was what I wanted to do. And I did a 2-week work experience in England at a hairdresser's. And by day 3, I drowned a customer basically in the head basin. So it wasn't for me. And I think it's important because even when I was that young, I didn't know what recruitment was even, right? Or how even an employment life cycle would work, whether you're looking for a job or anything like that. So it also gives the internships or the work experience people that we work with to see what it's like to be on the other side of the table too, in terms of making introductions, etc.
Yeah, and then in your roles, do you pay young people, or is it sort of an experience that is the kind of currency, I suppose?
It honestly depends. So for internships, yes, we pay, but if it's a week work experience, we'll kind of just cover their transportation costs.
That's still good because actually, Brandy on the Business Breakfast was saying, if you get say paid 500 dirhams for an internship, that covers. That's just your Uber cost or your Careem cost,
right?
So the fact you will cover somebody's transportation costs.
Yeah, because it's exactly and if it's a week or, maybe their parents can't drop them every day or maybe they're not on the transport line. I mean, luckily we're in JLT, so we're quite close to the metro and things, which is helpful. But no, we always try and help.
And that's also part of a job. Like, Benny, I don't know about you, getting to your place of work, finding a parking space, making your lunch, like all that sort of stuff.
Benny actually comes to us every day from Abu Dhabi, by the way.
Do you?
Yes,
Yeah, he does.
So I
Wow.
live in Abu Dhabi and I have to commute every day, 5 days a week to Dubai.
And you drive?
I'm going to
Yeah,
eventually.
he's licensed.
I got my license.
How do you get here?
So I use a private bus service. It's mainly for university students that live in Abu Dhabi. So there's a lot of university students in Dubai that live in Abu Dhabi, and
Okay.
they need a private bus service. So that's what I'm using right now.
And before you went to Genie and got your internship, got that sort of, summer experience, were you able to get any paid other work before that as a teenager?
I was working in my university as like a student representative. And it was sort of seasonal work during the open days, during the orientation, where I would just, take families on tours, answer their inquiries, answer their questions about the different degree programs, and just convince them to join the university. But it wasn't really formal work. I think Genie was like my first form of formal employment.
But you still got paid for it. You
Yeah.
still got work experience. Like for me, money talks. My mum was always like, just think of the money. If I didn't want to go, I used to work in a tea rooms where I'd be scraping jacket potatoes with beans and cheese that people didn't eat into the bin. And I used to have to grate a giant block of cheese as big as my head, and I'd lose like most of my fingers by the end of the shift. But it was all money. At the end of the day.
Yeah,
And
and I was the same. I worked with horses.
Oh,
So I worked
lovely.
with horses when I was younger. And I used to get £25 a week, and I was like rich.
Rich you were, and you
At
got to
that
work with
time,
ponies.
Yeah,
So that-
and I was around horses my whole life, and that also helped me define that I didn't want my hobby to be my career, because I was around horses from like 5 years old.
Yeah.
But then, when you're in that age, you're like, oh, maybe I'll go to equine college, or
Uh-huh.
then that also helped me align on that I want that to stay as a hobby. I don't want that to be my career. So,
Well, we've got to pause this conversation to get to the traffic news. Andrew Hosey's just come in the studio, so do stay with us. We're in conversation with Emily Doherty. She's Associate Director at Genie Recruitment, and Benny Huang. He is was an intern and now has a full-time job at Genie Recruitment. Any questions to them, get in touch, 4001, or you can WhatsApp me 04871 5500.
Dubai Eye 103.8 traffic.
Sponsored by Yas Island Abu Dhabi. Need a place for kids to cool down and for free? The answer is yes. Book your Kids Go free package now at yasisland.com.
Okay, Andrew, what's going on the roads?
I have a couple of accidents to tell you about on Emirates Road. This is in the southbound carriageway. Around the E102 junction, there's one there, and then a little bit further south, heading towards Al Khawanij 2, one just there as well. So that's causing a little bit of a hold-up southbound direction on the Emirates Road in that area. Elsewhere, Sheikh Zayed Road, just after the Museum of the Future, but it's actually heading southbound. Accident there with traffic starting to build up towards the Trade Centre underpass. Taking a look further around, not looking too bad. Got the usual build-up of traffic if you are from City Centre Al Zahaya. This is on Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Road, and that's running all the way down towards Etihad Mall area. Slow moving, but it is moving. Anything else? 4001.
This is Dubai Eye 103.8. Dubai Eye 103.8's weather check.
Sponsored by